my name is Payton Hanna. This is my project, and it's called the Young Philanthropists Initiative. So the introduction to this project is there is a problem in the world of philanthropy right now, and that is a lack of participation from younger adults, specifically in the age ranges of 18 to 32 years old. They are far less likely to donate than that of middle-aged and older people. And for many decades now, nonprofits have counted on the support and donations made by the older generations for them to survive and expand. But heading into the future, nonprofits need to tap into this younger demographic so that they can expand and grow heading toward the future, because younger people are the future. So that will be the aim of this project, is to find potential solutions. So as we head into this project, the main purpose of this study are four main things that we need to do. First, it is to find key factors withholding nonprofits from attracting young adult donors and volunteers. Second, we will need to create a survey that can gather informative data and clues that could be used to later craft potential solutions and recommendations. After we get the survey and the results in, we'll need to analyze the data, look for patterns and certain trends that are clear and easy to identify. And then once we find those, we'll build a cohesive plan for nonprofits to attract younger contributors with recommendations based off of the data that we've found. And as for the main research question that will be guiding this study, what are the core problems preventing young adults from volunteering and donating to nonprofit organizations? And what strategies can nonprofits use to better engage this demographic? So as we head into this project, as with any project, there are limitations in the study. For this particular project, some of the limitations include the sample size of the survey itself, because there were 26 total respondents, which is enough to find trends and find stuff in the data that makes sense and adds up, but it is pretty small. It did lack diversity in some of the demographic trends, which gender, financial status, and ethnicity were not asked on the survey, but there is a way to find a little bit of what the financial status would be based on the employment status question asked on the survey. It also focused on only finding quantitative data. Well, not only, but it did have a focus on quantitative data, but it did have qualitative questions as well near the end. And the survey was shortened to make it more user-friendly, to make people want to take it and actually fill it out. So a rough draft was sent out, and based off the replies and responses from that, the questions were cut down, and it ended up not having as many so that people would be more likely to finish it. And as you can see here on the right, this is an example of what one of the data points looked like taken from the survey, and it had a lot of responses and was well charted. So for the delimitations, the study focused on young adults specifically from the ages of 18 to 32 years old, and all the respondents were within the Southwest Missouri area, which focused the data and the responses back so that local nonprofits could use this information to build future plans and take recommendations on the data. The primary data collection tool was an online survey made with Google Forms, and it was sent out through text message to the respondents. No other questions or information other than that was collected from the survey was accepted for data or usage. So as we continue into the project, it is important to define some of the terms that were used a lot throughout this study. For philanthropy, it is the action and service of donating time, money, and other goods to charitable causes and works. Young adults, which was used a lot in this study. For this study, it was the meaning of 18 to 32-year-old individuals. Nonprofits, organizations that work for charitable goals and missions. Donating, it is the act of giving money or goods to a nonprofit organization in support of their work or cause. Volunteering, the free donation of one's time and effort in support of a cause or goal. And social media platforms, which will be an important part of this project, but it is the online platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And text to donate, a method of making donations to a nonprofit via text message. So what is the significance of this project? Well, it is important for many reasons, but mainly it is important because it provides valuable insights as well as possible solutions for how nonprofits nationally, but mainly for this local area, can continue to gain success and stay in business and stay helping not only our local community, but people all across the country. And without collecting future members, specifically young people, nonprofits will not be able to expand, not be able to reach their goals in the future. So that's why this study will be looking for patterns within the data that we collected so that potential solutions for this problem can be found. And then one of the questions from the survey that really stood out was this one here near the beginning, where it just simply asks, have you ever donated money to a nonprofit organization? Nearly 40% of respondents hadn't, which seems like a really large number to me, and that's something that could definitely be changed if we do a good job in this project. So for the survey and the information gathered, the respondents were split into groups by age, and it was done with specific ranges, just split up into 3 groups: 18 to 22, 23 to 26, and 27 to 32. All the respondents were asked about their current employment status to find potential insights about their financial ability to donate. Several questions gave insight to the frequency of how much they donate and how much they volunteer. Several of the questions were about barriers and things keeping the respondents from donating more and spending more time working with nonprofits. There were several questions on possible motivators and things that inspired the young age group to donate, to volunteer, so that nonprofits could use that to better craft their advertising and reach out campaigns. And there was also a section on what nonprofits could be better doing when it comes to just reaching out in general, how they can find them, where to find them, how they can grab their attention. So as you can see, there's an example of the occupation breakdown that was on the survey. So for the procedures in this project, the survey was sent out over a period of a week. There is no time limit given to the participants. The short length of the survey and the easy format allowed for quick responses. A lot of people took it, a lot of people had positive feedback on it, and the data that was collected was stored securely on Google Forms. It is privately owned by myself, and that ensured that the data and evidence and anything else related to the project could not be tampered with in any way. The information gathered in the survey was helpful in creating some new and potentially successful strategies to make young adults want to work with nonprofits. So what the survey found, our main findings were that a whopping 73% of respondents preferred to learn about nonprofits and volunteer opportunities through social media. Financial constraints were the number one reason why young adults were not donating, with 65% of respondents citing it as a reason. 54% of the respondents cited lack of time as another reason why they can't volunteer more often at a nonprofit. For advertising, 73% of respondents reported that impactful stories and testimonials would most inspire them to donate. 69% of the respondents felt inspired to donate or volunteer from infographics, statistics, and other impactful data points like that. And they really like when they are shown how their money is making an impact and what it's being used for, and especially when they're volunteering, how their time donated is impacting the organization. And a large majority of respondents felt that having easy to use donation options and clear information on how to donate would make them more likely to volunteer and donate in the future. So, based on what we saw with the data and the feedback from the survey, clearly social media is the most important tool that nonprofits need to better utilize in order to find young donors and volunteers. Because if you go to Instagram right now and type in any big nonprofit, chances are it's very plain, black and white posts that don't really do anything to capture your attention. So this needs to be changed. And the data showed that the respondents want simple donation processes that are very informative, very simple to use. They don't want to waste time. Young people are very quick thinking, quick moving. They want to do things fast. And they also want more flexible volunteering hours, because nonprofits oftentimes, which I'm sure they have their reasons, but there's many times where they will only have 2 days of the week that you can volunteer, and that's just not flexible enough for young people. And young people also wanted transparency and clear communication, and that had several high marks. A lot of people stressed that importance. And then also the young adults were more likely to engage when they see tangible outcomes of their contributions. They want their time and effort to be paid off in some way. They want to know what is happening and how they're making the difference. And the respondents also showed that creating a sense of community and belonging is vital for sustained engagement. So they want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. Young people love to have that. And it showed in the survey that they want more hands-on activities that bring them together with the people, going back to making a sense of community. So here are the potential solutions and the recommendations based off the data. And that is, number one, nonprofits should go all in on creating social media pages on every platform that are unique, that make them stand out, that make people spread word about the organization, that make people interested, that stir something within them. It needs to be content driven, and it needs to have posts daily, because you need to be constantly in the public space and the public eye. You want to get your name out there as much as possible, and social media is free advertising. So there's nothing better than that. And the content that these nonprofits should be sharing and advertising should be inspiring, because that's what young people want to feel. They want to feel inspired. The data showed that testimonials, success stories, and just data that shows how they're making an impact would be very successful in this age group. And Furthermore, they need to change the donating process to be more straightforward and way easier. Forms like Apple Pay, PayPal, Venmo, and text to donate options are very successful. So easy. Young people know, they're very tech savvy. They could use this very easily. And a lot of nonprofits right now don't have that, and they're just not set up for that. It's still cutting checks, sending in the mail, stuff like that, and it needs to be changed to be way easier. And then nonprofits need to provide clear and transparent information about how the donations are being used. They could do this by sending out weekly releases of reports with infographics, data points showing what impacts are being made, and so that way young people show the difference they're making, because that's what they want to see. And nonprofits should also offer a range of volunteer opportunities and to be less rigid, because they need more days open a week so that more people can make it. They need hands-on activities, and people should have a list of options that they can do to donate, because a lot of times they are told, like, you're going to be doing this today. But young people don't really like to be told what to do. So if possible, I think it would be smart to give a list of options and let people pick, and make it more enjoyable, make it more fun, more relaxed, just a more chill atmosphere, I guess. And then I also think that they need to build the strong sense of community, have social events, fundraisers, ice cream socials, stuff like that. Just anything creative like that would go a long way. Young people like to feel like they're involved in something bigger than themselves. They love making new friends, interacting with people. So if nonprofits would make days or fundraisers or events specifically targeted for young adults, I think that would go a long way. And that wraps up my recommendation list and this project. I've had a lot of fun doing that, and it's been awesome. Thank you.